What's not hypothetical right now is these cuffs digging into my skin right now.
They also had signs, once upon a time, that said people of a certain skin color couldn't come into an establishment, correct?
Some cops believe they can act without consequences, but they picked the wrong target this time. In this video, we dive into the shocking number of times officers faced severe backlash for their arrogance. Starting with our first case where an auditor found out what happens when you try to exercise your basic rights in front of a cop.
What's not hypothetical right now is these cuffs digging into my skin right now.
On May 26, 2024, Long Island Audit Channel owner Sean uploaded recovered footage from an incident at the New York Department of Health and Human Services where he lawfully attempted to exercise his rights, which appeared to have offended the so-called officers there.
Good to see you again. I told you I'd be back. Captain?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
Here you go. You might want to read that.
What is
you're not
this?
allowed to video here.
Are you here
It's
to
a
do
non-public
service? You applying today?
Well, yeah, I'm here to conduct business, correct?
You're applying today?
It's constitutionally protected business, yeah.
Well, this is a non-public forum, so you can't record in here. As I said yesterday. Okay?
I can record in here, for
No,
sure.
you cannot record in here.
This would be Sean's second attempt to freely access an actual public facility while everyone around him seemed to be delusionally self-important and tried to deny him.
Record. Then,
What would I be arrested for, recording?
no, you're going to be trespassing.
Trespassing without breaking any laws.
Yeah, you are. Because it's a public welfare facility, like I told you yesterday.
So what is this? Is this a law?
Excuse me, place your bag in the exit.
I'm not going to get into it with you. Are you going to stop recording? Or are you going to leave?
Can you tell me what this is?
Okay, stop. Put your back.
It is what it is.
You're trespassing. Being arrested
Okay.
for trespassing.
All right, no problem.
That's why you're being arrested.
You guys are making a big mistake here.
Okay.
Trespassing is a violation. It's not even a crime in New York.
The officer didn't take long to reveal his fragile patience, already proving himself to not be suitable enough even to be a janitor, much less a police officer.
You guys are making a huge mistake here.
Listen, man, I told you. I gave you a chance. I'm trying to be
I was
cordial
trying.
with
No,
you.
you weren't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
was.
weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you 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 weren't. I asked you what this
I-
paper was.
I
asked
told
you to
you
explain
yesterday.
this paper was.
I told you
I
yesterday
asked you-
outside. It's going to be handled differently. You made the conscionable choice to come back here, walk
To
into the
exercise
lobby
my rights again.
recording
I told you I
again.
had business to
After
conduct here.
after I told you yesterday.
I had business to conduct here. I'm here to apply for services.
No, I asked you on
I
camera.
did.
On camera.
I did.
No.
And I said I was applying for service.
No, you
I said I had
didn't. No, you
business to
didn't.
conduct
No,
here.
you didn't.
Okay.
The officer immediately continued to argue with Sean like a 5-year-old when provoked, as if it wasn't already bad enough that the officer had no tolerance for everyday citizens.
To conduct here. That's what I told
Just
you.
like yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
We're all good.
You didn't let me conduct
Why
my
don't-
business yesterday. I was trying to go through the metal detector today. Did you not notice that? Because I was
why don't we
trying
do
to.
this?
Why don't?
Plead the fifth.
Yeah. Why don't you do that? Yeah, because that's what you were told yesterday, right? So you want to quit back at it, right? That's funny. Big mistake you guys are making here. Big mistake. Violating my constitutional rights. Be out in a couple hours and I'll beat the charge, just like I beat the charge everywhere throughout this whole entire country.
If you know anything about Sean's videos, you know this wouldn't be the first time he found himself in a situation like this. But every time, the officers would soon come to regret messing with him.
Transparency in our government. You know what's crazy? If I really want to, I can go outside your house and your house and your house to record, and that's completely legal. But recording just to hold my government accountable I'm trespassing on public property, the same property that I help fund with my tax dollars.
Property. This is not public property.
This is public property.
No, it's not.
This is public property, sir. This is a public agency, sir.
How do you feel it's public property?
Because it's funded by taxpayer dollars, sir. That's why.
This property is not.
It is funded by taxpayer
This
dollars.
property.
I wonder if it makes these officers feel less special about themselves knowing they're not secret spy agents, but just public servants who should not be taking this much issue being recorded.
This is not county property.
But who pays? They lease this space through tax dollars, sir, meaning that it becomes publicly accessible.
Meaning Nassau County has nothing to do with this property.
But if they have nothing to do with, so you can have it both ways. If they have nothing to do with this property, how can I be trespassed by a Nassau County?
It's clear that this officer had no idea what he was even talking about, but simply wanted to beef with Sean over his bruised ego.
The building manager you're not here,
Who's the building manager? The person I talked to yesterday?
the building manager.
Well, I'm in handcuffs today. I wasn't in handcuffs yesterday. So I'm saying, how
The
can
building manager
a
stated-
Nassau
Listen,
County
stop.
officer?
Stop.
Well, I'm just asking you. So
No,
you said this is private property. Okay.
All
All right.
Yesterday, the property manager
Yeah.
stated if someone comes on this property and not handling county business, he wants them trespassed.
The property manager or building manager? Which is it? Or would I be correct to bet that this guy was probably making up this information on the spot?
What you trying to apply for?
Do you understand how quickly this just happened? He just put handcuffs on me in less than a few minutes.
But do you see how fast you refuse to answer his questions? He actually.
It happened in less than a few minutes, sir. There was no de-escalation implemented. What does the Department of Health and Human Services have to hide? Where's the transparency for the people, for we the people, to check up on our government? Don't you think? Don't you think that our government should be transparent? Especially when this officer here is getting paid 6 figures.
The truth is less likely sinister, and it's more that these employees think they're above the common people simply because they work an important job and cannot be criticized whatsoever.
This officer here gets paid 6 figures every year, and we can't hold them accountable. We can't. Do you know that law enforcement, the law enforcement agency, sir? I'm not here just filming. I did investigative work. Law enforcement, Nassau County Police Department is the highest grossing department out of all the departments. It goes Nassau County Police, and I believe the Department of Social Services that help we the people, sir, is like 3rd on the list. And as far as budget, do you think that the people need more help, or that law enforcement needs to just keep getting richer and richer?
Some may argue that this kind of payroll is justified considering how dangerous law enforcement can be. But the only thing we've seen so far is these officers manhandling an unarmed Sean.
That's like you trespassing me because of my skin color, whether it's white or black or brown or anywhere in between. That's like you saying, we're not arresting you for your skin color, sir. We're arresting you because we told you to leave and you didn't leave. You can use criminal trespassing for anything. You could say, I don't like the way he looks. He could be I could be a political opponent, and I'm in a city hall, and the mayor doesn't like that I'm in here. I could be asking too many questions that you don't like, that in your part of the government, and you could just say, where does it stop? Where can you not trespass somebody from property that they help fund? When can you just say, well, you know what? We can't remove you from property that you help fund.
Sean made a point that nobody even thought to consider before they decided to slap handcuffs on him and restrict his freedom.
When you was at the military thing and you was filming, you went across this lobby, and your phone shows the video even from yesterday, people in the lobby. They don't know they're on video, so how can you say they have no problem with you being on video when they didn't approach you?
We're always on video.
So
there's video here, and I told you can request those video.
So because you only booked the 2 people that walked out and spoke to you, but how do you know these people that were sitting in the lobby appreciate being aired on YouTube?
The officer really thought he checkmated Sean, but this argument can be made against any type of vlogging channel or anyone that takes pictures in public. Would he argue against them too?
And if they did voice their concerns to me or send me an email, I would kindly, because that's my YouTube channel. Yeah. I even though there's no expectation of privacy, you guys have a whole lot of cameras in here, so nobody complains about those. But if somebody said, "Hey, sir, you know, I'd prefer not to be on your YouTube video," I would blur their face out, as long as they're not a public servant like you.
Despite the ridiculous argument by this cop, Sean still handled it with grace, with the fact that he'd obliged to blur anyone if they asked, unlike the cameras in the building that were also recording.
If I went through the metal detector and I had a pen or a belt or a watch, and I was secretly recording every single person, in this facility here, and I went online and I spoke to the woman, and I was very cordial. I said, "Hey, what services do you offer to the public here?" and see how she treated me. And then I went left. You would never know I'm recording. And then I left, and I went home, and I published that video online on YouTube, Facebook, wherever.
Yes.
And I published that video. Would this law enforcement officer would he come to my house and arrest me? No, he wouldn't, because there is no charge for recording.
If this scenario had actually gone down, then I doubt anyone would say anything about trespassing either, proving that Sean was only in this situation because of how defensive and superior complex these employees were.
To whom it may concern, the lobby of the Nassau County Department of Social Services is a non-public forum. in the Make Road by Walking Inc. v. Turner, the Circuit System of Appeals found that welfare centers are moved to a non-public forum, but that doesn't matter. You can only make it. I understand that it's not a non-public forum; it's a limited public forum, and that means time, place, and manner restrictions, sir. I know the law. Time, place, and manner. So the time, this is during business hours. The manner, I'm being respectful. I'm not disturbing any business.
Sean thwarted yet another attempt by the officer to somehow discredit him when the paper he was using was probably printed after Sean's first visit to the department.
But they're not. Now, my next question to you, if one of those people, just an example, one of those people was in the lobby that didn't see you recording, right, was here for some kind of domestic reason, and you just posted this video. So
we don't need to get animated. We're talking. Okay.
So that one female or male that walked past your camera that's in hiding and came in for help, someone just seen them on your video, and that other person, holy moly, this is where that person is going. Now I'm gonna wait for this person outside. You put somebody's life in danger.
It wouldn't take a genius to notice how far-fetched this officer's hypothetical scenario against Sean was, and Sean himself wouldn't miss it either.
That could happen, sure,
Yes, it could.
But it could happen with me filming outside the front door as well, sir. It doesn't mean that I have to be inside of here. If I was, let's ask the law, if I was filming outside on the street, could you have trespassed me from the street, sir? Less than an animal, right? I lost my freedom right now for a potential of maybe somebody that's on a domestic. You're hypothetical. What about me? What about my rights? What about my safety? What about my family? What about my well-being? Somebody that wants to hurt them would watch my YouTube video. What's not hypothetical right now is these cuffs digging into my skin right now.
It's remarkable how far the officer tried to go in trying to disprove or somehow win against Sean for the sake of his pride, all while ignoring the fact that Sean was still handcuffed this whole time.
And, I'm sure there's a lot of different things that can go wrong when I air my video. Just same way, if News 12 was recording outside doing a news report and somebody walked past their cameraman and somebody happened to be watching News 12,
okay.
That same way did you think the News 12, is the News 12 reporter a bad person for not thinking of who they possibly in some hypothetical world could have heard?
I've been here.
I'm listening to you too.
When News 12 come in one area, and we keep News 12 in one area to not show anybody walking in the building.
I've seen people walk past News 12 all the time.
I have to wonder what condition departments are kept in these days if the best they have is officers like these who would rather spend their time hurling flawed arguments instead of de-escalating the situation.
Hold on, Sean, just take your hat off, buddy.
Sean would later finally be released from jail, but would face 2 charges against him by the department. However, the 2 charges would eventually be dismissed for their incorrect nature, and Sean would face no penalties. It's satisfying to see immoral cops like these get their payback thrown right back in their face. But in this next case here, being another audit conducted by Sean had an ending even more satisfying than this one.
They also had signs, once upon a time, that said people of a certain skin color couldn't come into an establishment, correct?
On July 21st, 2024, Sean uploaded the footage of the incident that took place when he decided to conduct an audit on the Traffic Violations Bureau. But like moths to a flame, the officers there just couldn't help but try to intimidate him into submission.
Hey, whoa, back away from me, man. What are you doing?
Let's go.
Back away. Back away. This is not. I'm not in a courtroom. I'm not in a courtroom. Who are you? Yeah, why are you coming up on me like that, man? Well, I'm not in any courtroom or anything. I'm not in a restricted area. This is a public area.
I'm just asking you not to film.
But this is a public area. I'm not.
In the area.
Yes, I'm in a public area. This is a public area.
There's no filming in the area. Let's go.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to get. Listen, are you security guard or law enforcement?
Imagine entering a building with your camera, and the first thing you see is this security guard trying to ward you away with his psychic powers like Eleven from Stranger Things.
Hey, how you doing? Are you a supervisor here?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just taking some pictures and video. I'm a journalist.
Sure, come on this way. I'm going to show you the sign.
Yeah, well, let me see the sign. Sure, no problem.
So you probably, I'm going to ask you to nicely to please shut this off and then read the sign and then determine how you want to proceed.
So what rules of the chief judge? Are you law enforcement?
Step back.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for five
would you
security
please read the
guards.
sign and then stop recording.
Are you law enforcement, sir?
Yes.
Imagine being so afraid of just one person, you have your own SWAT team ready on standby. The supervisor, too, had such a smug attitude, as if the sign could just dismiss Sean away, but he wouldn't be persuaded so easily.
Where's the actual order? This is just the sign. Where's like an order from the
That is
judge?
the order from the chief judge right there.
Yeah, the chief judge of where?
So once again, you're in a courthouse.
Yeah.
You've read the sign. You've seen no video, no photographers, no recording.
What's the law, though?
You've written it, and you might want to take a look at this because this is criminal contempt.
Yeah.
To continue, and you know I don't want to see that happen.
You don't have you don't have arresting capabilities. You're a security
well,
guard.
if I do or don't, I can call a police officer and a deputy sheriff if you'd like me to. What can I do to assist you?
What's so infuriating is how this supervisor thinks he can just threaten and push citizens around without any consequences, all because Sean had one phone on record in his hand.
Because I would like for you to get educated. This is not a law. These
appreciate that.
are policies, sir. Can I get your name?
Sure, Captain Wright.
Captain Wright?
Ray.
Captain Ray.
Yes.
Yeah, these are policies, and this officer here tried to come at me from behind and put his hands on me.
Oh, he tried to put his hands on you?
Yeah, he tried. I had to back up and put my hand to block him.
So anyway, how can
Security
I help you
officers and public
So how
safety.
can I help you today?
Security officers and public safety like yourself are here to observe and report, sir.
Isn't it interesting how this supervisor of a public building is trying to convince Sean that he can force a rule that is against the public constitution? Priceless.
help you today?
That's not okay. You're public
So what
safety.
can I do to help you today?
I'm not a
Because you
danger of the
speak
public
recording
safety. Yes, I am recording. So I'm a journalist. I have a First Amendment right to record in publicly
yes, you do.
accessible areas.
Okay, but
I'm
not
gathering
here. This is a
content.
courthouse. The signs are very clear.
I'm not in a
Do
courtroom.
you have business here today?
I'm not in a courtroom. Yes, I do.
Well, it says if you actually read the sign, office or hallway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask
So where's
you-
the courtrooms?
So I'm going to ask you.
Where's the
nicely-
courtrooms? Is this the hallway of a
so
courtroom?
ask you nicely, you've read-
Something tells me it didn't matter to this supervisor whether what he was doing was unlawful or not, but that he was solely interested in power tripping and intimidating Sean.
Right, this is a public building. I have the right to be in this public building, and just because I'm recording shouldn't restrict my access to the public building. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not interrupting any courtrooms. I'm not doing anything of that nature. I'm not causing a disturbance. If anything, that security guard over there, while I was filming these signs over here, he tried to run up on me and grab me from behind, and I had to like put my hand out to stop him. The guy right behind you, right by the computer screen over there. It was uncalled for. I'm a reasonable guy. I'm not trying to break the law. I'm not breaking the law.
I'm just saying.
I'm not breaking the law.
It's very sad to see the Constitution being used only in name now, as any true officer of the law should be able to recognize it supersedes all other rules. But Sean wouldn't get that lucky.
Deputy, they also had signs, once upon a time, that said people of a certain skin color couldn't come into an establishment, correct? Were those signs acceptable? Just because it's on a sign.
Can we talk over here? So
I'd rather.
over here.
I'll get out the way. We can come over
Come
here.
over here. Just follow me over here.
We can come over here.
Okay. So what are you trying to do? Besides just record and
I'm just recording in publicly accessible areas. That's all I'm
Okay.
doing. And if you are going to violate my rights in any way, you let me know that, and I'll take it up with the proper venue.
Sean might as well have been talking to a brick wall at this point, as the officer either was just as egotistic as the supervisor or just couldn't be bothered. Later, Sean received 4 traffic violation tickets from the Bureau out of revenge for simply standing up for himself when they surrounded him, and he would visit again a month later to dispute them.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
What'd they do? They gave you tickets for front, back,
So
side?
they gave me a ticket for each window. I drive an SUV. Ma'am. I'm sorry. I drive an SUV, and the back 2 windows, according to the motor vehicle traffic law, the back 2 windows of an SUV could be of any darkness.
Okay.
So he gave me one
What's on your
ticket.
phone? Are you about to show me something?
No.
Oh,
I don't need to
okay.
show you
I thought you
anything.
were gonna show me something.
No. I'm just saying he gave me, according to the law, he gave me 2 unlawful tickets. The back 2 windows could be of any darkness. And again, I dispute the front 2 windows were of a legal darkness anyway.
This is next level pettiness from grown servants of the public, now actively working against a public citizen like Sean purely because his confidence got them butthurt.
I'm gonna get rid of 3 of them. Okay, I'm just gonna show you.
Right. Yeah. And I appreciate that, man. But you said you would dismiss 3 of them and charge me for 1 tin ticket. They're all unlawful. So I would just ask for time to get an attorney at that point and go to trial.
So, what's your basis saying?
Right. Because he never my window tints.
Phone down because I feel like you're videoing me.
So it began once again. Do these public employees have zero awareness of the fact that they aren't working on a register or a cubicle, but in a public setting?
Oh, okay. Are you a public servant? I record all my engagement, all my interactions with public servants.
You're not going to record me, so if you put that away, then we know you're not ready.
Ma'am, I just record all my interactions for transparency and accountability with.
I'm not going to do that though.
Why not?
The employee might have thought it was okay to show Sean this much attitude, but Sean wouldn't be leaving today without something to take with him.
Wow, absolutely ridiculous. Because I'm recording for transparency, I'm recording our public servants in the course of their duty. It's an issue. But yet it's not an issue for them to record us, as we are constantly being reminded of.
Despite this unpleasant encounter, however, one good thing did come out of Sean's efforts.
So if you guys remember, the last time I was in the Traffic Violations Bureau here, excuse me, sir, there was a big problem here. There were signs everywhere. It looks like the signs have been taken down. So, again, the director who's running the Traffic Violations Bureau, there is a new director since the last time we were here. And I don't see any no recording signs like I saw last time I was here.
The new director for the Bureau was much more pro-Constitution, and after Sean's incidents with the guards, the Bureau came more of what it should have been in the first place.
So we held strong and made sure that they didn't, remove us from the building. And the Suffolk County Sheriffs arrived and they didn't really do anything. They let us record. They respected our constitutional rights, honored their oath, but they still had the signs here. Now with the new director here, I gotta say, there's a whole different vibe to this building here. New director taking over Suffolk County Traffic Violations Bureau, and seems like they're doing a good job here.
This is just proof for anyone who's skeptical that the things Sean does and the audits he conducts does have a point and can genuinely help make things better and more accessible. That's all for today. Let me know in the comments below which case was your favorite. And if you liked the video, subscribe so you can take advantage of the next one we have in store for you, like the ones over here. Thank you for watching. This is Detective Mystery, signing off.